This is the largest cruise ship in the world. With the introduction of the 1,198-foot Icon of the Seas in June 2023, Royal Caribbean's continuing its tradition of designing bigger, better, more innovative cruise ships. When it finally takes its maiden voyage, the Icon will carry 10,000 passengers to and from exotic ports of call. But there's far more to the Icon than size alone. This futuristic vessel's packed with technologies and features that have the power to redefine the entire cruise industry. Even so, Royal Caribbean insists they're just getting started. Before we dive into this project, we'd like to welcome you to Futurescapes, where we look at some of the most exciting, visionary, and downright bonkers building projects happening all over the world. If you're as fascinated as we are by what the future holds in architecture, urban design, and engineering, make sure to subscribe. Since its founding in 1968, Royal Caribbean Cruise International has more than lived up to its regal name. With its innovative spirit and strong customer focus, the company's consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible at sea. And while the Royal Caribbean's fleet of 28 ships provides exceptional service and memorable experiences to more than 5 million passengers annually, it's always maintained commitments to environmental stewardship and social responsibility. Of course, this hasn't stopped the company from wholly embracing the bigger is better strategy that keeps vacationers flocking back again and again. Indeed, of the 10 largest cruise ships in the world, the top 6 are all part of the Royal Caribbean fleet. More importantly, each new record holder, from the Wonder of the Seas to the Symphony of the Seas, and now the Icon of Seas, represents a massive leap forward in cruise ship design. In fact, much of Royal Caribbean's popularity hinges on the company's ability to provide experiences that previously seemed unthinkable aboard even a large-scale vessel. Their ships have evolved over the years to become more like floating amusement parks, assuming the amusement park's located next to a luxury hotel, a couple's retreat, and a top-tier entertainment venue. These ships are now so well designed and advanced, most people don't even deboard upon arriving at the destinations. And customers have rewarded this innovation to the tune of billions of dollars. Despite being the leader of an industry that was quite literally avoided like the plague during the pandemic years, Royal Caribbean's proved particularly financially resilient. In the third quarter of 2023, the company reported a staggering $1 billion profit on $4.2 billion in revenue. Considering the Icon of the Seas costs $2 billion, it's safe to say that Royal Caribbean's pretty confident about its economic future. According to company insiders, booking levels continue to surpass records from previous years, indicating a vast consumer demand that the company says is due to its innovative offerings, excellent service standards, and, of course, its colossal new ships. Despite the Titanic's ultimate sinking, it seems that people are still eager to travel onboard boats, planes, and other vehicles that can boast impressive statistics. In fact, every time there's a new fastest roller coaster or largest passenger plane, the organizations behind them witness a significant uptick in positive PR as well as customer traffic. Knowing this, Royal Caribbean's decided to build that buzz into its business model. The way they see it, who wouldn't pay a little more to travel on the largest cruise ship in the world? So far, it's a gamble that's proved correct year after year. In pushing this bigger is better narrative, Royal Caribbean's been a pivotal player in the evolution of cruise ships in general. Not only are they constantly increasing the size and capacity of their vessels, they're also incorporating new advanced features, amenities, and entertainment options. This all started with the Sovereign of the Seas. Introduced in 1988, the Sovereign marked a new era in cruise ship design, directly leading to the development of the Voyager and Oasis classes. Even in the early days, the idea was for the ships to not merely be modes of transportation, but floating destinations themselves, complete with a wide range of amenities like indoor cafes, casinos, health clubs, and entertainment venues. When the Harmony of the Seas set sail in 2015, it boasted a gross tonnage of 227,500 and was 1,188 feet, and could support around 7,500 passengers and crew members. A few years later, the previous record holder for largest cruise ship, the Wonder of the Seas, had a gross tonnage of 236,857 and a total capacity of 8,000, even though the length stayed the same. The Icon, however, is an example of Royal Caribbean taking its destination ship concept to a whole new level. The construction of the Icon of the Seas began in October 2016 and marked a completely new chapter in maritime engineering. The ship's an impressive 1,198 feet and can accommodate up to 7,600 paying guests and around 2,400 crew members. Its gross tonnage, a staggering 250,800 tons. Knowing the value inherent in promoting every step of this colossal new ship's construction, Royal Caribbean posted frequent video updates on the project on its YouTube channel and ensured adequate coverage by news stations around the world. Customers saw the keel laid in April of 2022. They watched as Northern Europe's largest heavy gantry crane assembled the 201 giant blocks that made up the ship's modular structure. They saw the massive aquadome, a first for any cruise ship, laid in place over the course of 12 hours. Most importantly, they got to see the sea trials and the installation of mind-blowing amenities, all the while thinking how great it would be to be a passenger on such a one-of-a-kind vessel. In short, Royal Caribbean knows how to market to their audience. In fact, if the Titanic were still around, they could probably patch the hole, install a few water slides, and make billions running it back and forth to the Bahamas. But the innovation and brilliance of the Icon of the Seas goes far beyond mere aesthetics, measurements, and records. For instance, it's the first cruise ship to use liquefied natural gas as its primary fuel source, significantly reducing the environmental impact of its operation, especially when compared to other ships of its size. Its 6 multi-fuel Wärtsilä engines are capable of generating a total of 67,500 kilowatts, or 90,520 horsepower. And in the event something happens with the LNG, they can run off standard diesel as well. This sort of environmental responsibility sits well with Carnival's customer base, and the company's doubled down on its green initiatives several times over with its newest class of ships. The Icon's also the first ship of its kind to feature a hydrogen-powered onboard desalination plant, which produces thousands of gallons of fresh water directly from the ocean. It similarly uses hydrogen fuel cells to produce electricity, which Royal Caribbean considers a step toward what they hope will be a completely carbon-neutral cruise line. Other green innovations include a unique air lubrication system for the hull, which reduces friction and fuel consumption for even more renewable street cred. When the first images of the finished Icon of the Seas were released, the reverberations throughout the cruise industry were difficult to ignore. Not only is the ship a floating luxury resort, but it's completely covered in slides, pools, decks, and recreation areas from bow to stern. Altogether, the vessel boasts 7 swimming pools, 6 water slides, and the first ever suspended infinity pool to be installed on a cruise ship. The undisputed centerpiece of the ship is the 363-ton aquadome near the bow. This indoor amphitheater was specifically designed as an entertainment venue, featuring Royal Caribbean high divers and athletes performing against a backdrop of a 17-meter waterfall. As if the ship needed more records, the aquadome represents the largest glass and steel structure ever installed aboard a cruise ship. Moreover, its interior was done in an ultra-futuristic interior style, similar to something one might see in Singapore or Japan. The ship's 22 dining venues cater to a wide array of tastes, ranging from casual family-friendly eateries to upscale dining experiences, while its 8 neighborhoods ensure that families, newlyweds, and party-hungry solo travelers all have a part of the ship to call their own. These neighborhoods have names like Chill Island, Thrill Island, the Royal Promenade, and the Hideaway, clearly indicating which is ideal for which type of passenger, or whatever mood one might be on any given day. And while there's undoubtedly something for every budget, Royal Caribbean was careful to ensure they added a few ultra-luxury amenities for passengers, with a flair for the dramatic. The best example is the Ultimate Family Townhouse, a 3-story suite with a slide, theater, and karaoke bar. In addition to kid and adult sleeping areas for up to 8 people, this 1,772 square foot apartment has more than 750 square feet of outdoor space, 2 balconies, and even a white picket fence. And to think it could be all yours for just $75,000 a week. The Icon of the Seas is not just a ship, it's also a statement, a very bold one, in fact, about the future of the cruise ship industry. For Royal Caribbean, the $2 billion price tag's a pittance compared to the esteem that comes with so boldly steering a course into uncharted territory. The ship's design, which puts equal emphasis on environmental considerations and passenger experiences, sets a new standard that competitors will find hard to follow, even though the market will ultimately compel them to do so. The ship's successful maiden voyage in June 2023 is just the beginning. With plans to introduce the Icon's sister ship, the Star of the Seas, in 2025, Royal Caribbean's leading the cruise industry towards a bigger, more sustainable, and more profitable future. What do you think about the Icon of the Seas? Feel free to leave your thoughts about it in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in.